The Norwood City School District Board of Education follows the bi-monthly meeting schedule. At the first meeting of the month, we call that our committee meeting. At this meeting, we discuss fully our agenda for the board meeting to be held the third Thursday of each month. As board members, we encourage you to attend, watch, and listen to our committee discussion, resulting in action at the board meetings. For full disclosure, our committee meetings and board meetings are always announced, video and audio taped, as well as posted to our webpage for your view. All of our meetings are public and visitors are welcome. Mrs. Camphouse, would you call the roll, please?
Present.
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 Present. All right, if you would stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
1.04 on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, with the agenda approved, we can move on. 1.05, this is the minutes from the regular meeting, July 18th. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, Mrs. Camphouse?
Ms. Fallon? Yes. Mrs. Verica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, item 2 on the agenda is the presentation section. We do not have a presentation this evening, so we'll go ahead and move on. We will go ahead and move on to item 3, which is personnel superintendent recommendations, and I will turn it over to Superintendent Mrs. Ronan.
Thank you, Madam President. I do need to make a quick change. 3.01 resignation termination should also include retirements because we had a late addition this afternoon on retirements after it was printed, but we have changed it on board docs on the online one. So under resignations, what we have done is, as you can see, 3 of our aides have resigned. But Mitch is actually a retirement. That's what the change is. So I have pulled Mitch out on the online version and have listed him as a retirement. And then we also have a termination. So that was the change. It included a retirement that was put in the wrong section. And let's see, 3.02, number 1 is employment. As you can see, we are hiring 3 additional aides to replace the ones just listed above who've left our employment. We also have supplemental contracts for yearbook, marching band, etc. And let's see, we also are looking at kindergarten camp, some supplementals for that. We also are still hiring coaches mostly for winter sports. The only coaching position I believe we have left at the moment that is unfilled is golf. So we are still looking for a golf coach. If anyone knows, anyone who'd be interested in doing that. And we also have some supplementals for the band. And actually, that concludes my report. So it is very short
All right,
this month.
thank you, Mrs. Camphouse. Do I have a motion to approve 3.01 and 3.02?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
So does that mean there's a tennis coach coming very soon?
I believe so. That's what I was told. Golf was all we had left.
I got to meet a lot of the new coaches at the
you?
parade, and they just seem like a fabulous team. They're very familiar with each other, and they've already hit the ground running, and they were all there to participate with the students. So I'm
Wonderful.
looking forward to seeing what this kind of relationship brings into our teams.
On the same time we started this, they are having their sports meeting, and as soon as we get
Yeah.
out of here, I gotta go
Gotta
over
go
there.
there.
Anything,
Luckily, it's outside and lovely.
anything further? All right, Mrs. Camphouse?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, moving on to item 4. This is Education Committee. We turn over to Mrs. Rarica. I don't see anything.
There's
Anything you
nothing
wanna-
there. Do.
All right, very good. Gotta love summer meetings, right?
Yes.
Item 5 on the agenda, this is Policy Committee, and I will turn it over to Vice President Taylor. Oh, is there nothing there
There's
either?
nothing there.
Nothing there either, my goodness. Somebody obviously was
Somebody
not
wants to
prepared
have an
tonight.
easy night.
I just got into board docs once I got here. I started trying to get in board docs on Monday and I couldn't get in.
Well, I have a voting box, but I don't have any information, so I
Oh,
wanted
for
to double
facility
check.
usage.
No, I just have a voting box,
Okay,
so you can skip mine as well.
I will skip, I will skip item 6 as well.
Whoop, whoop.
Building and grounds, we don't have anything there. So I will turn it over to Mrs. Camphouse for agenda item 7. This is the Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Madam President. The Ohio Auditor of State has mandated that all public employees, which is anyone paid through payroll, must comply with fraud training through his office. We've always had staff complete a fraud training through Public School Works, but now this isn't good enough, and his new training must be completed directly from the Auditor of State's website. We are working through the logistics of getting all staff compliant and tracking proof for the auditors, so stay tuned for more interesting stuff on that. On the agenda, all monthly financial reports and the change order listings are attached for your approval today for the month of July. On the agenda, 7.02 lists the temporary appropriations, which is our current year budget. 7.03, fantastic donation from Linda Caswell Berry and Sons Foundation for $8,000 to Avenues for Success for Bounce Back to School.
Wow.
We really appreciate that. 7.04, special education contracts for the 24-25 school year. These agreements are for Butler County ESC and complete care providers to provide services to students who qualify through their IEP. 7.05, approve the exempt and manager salary schedule. Due to changes in the Fair Labor Standards Act regarding salaried or hourly employees, we are approving the salary schedule again. In this version, I have clearly marked which positions are administrative and which are not to help prove that we still meet the new mandates. There's also a contract day adjustment for one staff member in the salary schedule to match their previously approved contract. So we met the mandates before. I just wanted to make it clearer on this salary schedule, who was exempt and who wasn't. 7.06, approve the SRO contract with the City of Norwood's Police Department. This is a renewal of a contract from last year with slightly updated terms for reimbursement. We are thrilled to be partners with the City of Norwood again, the Police Department, to keep our students safe. 7.07, delegate and alternate for OSBA Annual Capital Conference. I need a motion to appoint a delegate and alternate to represent the district regarding the 2025 OSBA platform defending public schools. The annual business meeting will be Monday, November 11th at 2:30 p.m. And we also need a student achievement liaison that can attend the Capitol Conference. And I think I blew right past a vote box after 7.06.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve 701 through 706 as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Oh, thank you a whole
Yes.
lot for that very generous donation. Linda Caswell Berry and Sons Foundation.
Yes.
I was there for Bounce Back making balloon animals, and Laura was just, she's like, we got the money. We always, God comes through, we get the money. It's amazing, and she's just so grateful that we were able to put on such an amazing event. Everything went so smoothly, and the new fence is looking fantastic too. So that was up just in time for that. So kind of everything came together, and we really appreciate those donations to make these events happen.
Absolutely.
And to Ashland Baptist Church too, for all the volunteers they provided for handing out the backpacks and the food.
Great. Anything else? All right, Mrs. Camphouse?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, so we're on to, back to 7.07.
Yes.
Okay. So I asked Mrs. Rarick if she would be interested. She's not going to be here. These two are always my first go-tos. So I was like, who wants to be the one and who wants to be the backup? But
I'd be happy to do it again. I enjoyed the delegate committee. I've also done the student achievement, so whatever you want, I've got it.
Whatever you, okay, so you can do those two things then? We can appoint her for those two things?
I don't see that you couldn't do both.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just can't alternate myself.
Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, and then you said, just for anybody
You- I
watching,
can't
you're
go
not gonna
there.
be there. Okay, yeah, you're not gonna be there.
But I went to a thing in June.
Yeah, so we do
Would
need
you like to
a,
be the alternate
yeah, we like
for
to be
this
an
year? Because I know
alternate.
you said you wanted to go to Capitol this year. so-
Yeah, I do want to go. I don't mind to be the backup. Do you want to be the backup? Yeah, I was gonna say we could appoint Brandon. He's not here to defend himself.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Bring it in.
I don't mind because, yeah,
I highly doubt
Yeah.
it'll be needed anyway,
but,
but so.
yeah,
It is neat to sit there and watch, and sometimes the governor comes in and does a speech, and that's pretty interesting to see too.
yeah, that'll be fine. So,
As long as it's nice and short like last year.
so this is all formal and such. So if you want to say that I nominated Amber and then Amber
Oh,
nominated.
I nominate Amber
Okay,
to be the delegate. I also nominate her to be the student liaison.
we always had that. Is that-
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes, we usually do it in January
Oh.
and somehow it didn't happen in
Yeah,
January.
it's usually one of those extra positions that you just happen to be that person for the district to the state. And I've done it in years past.
Okay.
So
Great.
I don't know who else has served in that capacity, honestly. I think I've always done it. But I
I
think
thought
maybe
Alice
Alice
did
did
it
it once.
The last couple of years, I thought.
I've been a delegate or the backup delegate before.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember ever being a student liaison, and if I was derelict in my duties because I have no idea what that person's supposed to do.
You were just so good at it.
It comes naturally to you.
If I was, I don't even remember.
All right, so, so Miss Ballard will be our delegate, I will be the backup, and Miss Ballard will also be the student, achievement liaison. So, all right, so do I have a motion?
I'll motion to nominate Amber for these two positions.
And Debbie, it's all in one.
Yeah, I think you can do it all in one.
Oh, I nominate I move to go forward with our nominations. Is that a good one?
Sure.
I'll second.
See, you're really good at that too. Any discussion? Mrs. Camp
Miss Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, item 8, the hearing of the public. We do not have anybody here. On to item 9 on the agenda. This is the report section, 9.01, board announcements. Anybody have any news? Back to school soon?
Pretty much it was just the bounce back and we already kind of touched on that.
Yeah, they did splashback the night before.
Yep.
Sports
She
evening
really
tonight.
liked the structure of having splashback at night and then the bounce back during the next day so that it wasn't back-to-back events, just
Oh, on the same
all in
day.
the
the
same
same
day.
day.
So I think that'll be a continued thing for next year's. We'll do the one in the evening. Hopefully a little earlier though. She said it kept getting just super late. So they think attendance might be improved if they could come back just a little bit on time, but that'll be something we have to work out with the rec department.
Yeah.
Um,
I think all the private functions are kind of late at the pool because,
Yeah,
It's
well,
open
it
to the
closes
public.
at 7, but they didn't have us in until like 8, I think. So even if we could get in or start letting people in at 7,
Yeah,
that change. But like I said, it'll be a discussion that they'll have to have
Yeah,
next
with the rec,
next
yeah.
time. But it worked out better to have just a little sleep in between the two
Sure.
events. But it went over really well, and I met a lot of our new families coming in for our itty bitties, and especially the Montessori program. A lot of those folks showed out to that day. It was a really good turnout. Had a lot of families there. So, yep.
It's always a good time.
anything else going on? I saw,
Probably.
The parade went really well.
Yeah?
We had a ton of our athletes showed out. Our band took a break from their actual like band camp to come and be in the parade. And we got a ton of pictures. I think I sent a bunch over to Terry.
Carrie, yes, thank you.
Just a really great event. Perfect weather for it. We were not hot. It was great. So
I've seen Little Indians in full swing, I think.
They were.
Seen some kiddos in football pants.
Yep.
Running around Norwood, so must be Little Indian season. All right, 9.02, this is the superintendent's report, so I will turn it over to Mrs. Rowe.
Thank you. Last month, the board adopted the state mandated cell phone policy. So this is the flyer that we are going to send to our families and make sure everyone is aware of it. And we're also going to make posters to put up in classrooms that really list what was included. Well, we shortened it a bit from the board policy. So that's out there. Now, the next is I Choose Norwood yard signs. I was hoping the board, as we flip through these, would tell me which one you think you would like, and we'll get them printed for the start of school. And the plan was to give this to our families to put in their yard. So either I choose Norwood School District, I choose Norwood Schools, proud family of a Norwood City School District of the Norwood, or proud Norwood City School District family. I wasn't sure what, that's a lot. Those are a lot of words to put on a sign.
Yeah.
I like the bottom one, but if it said, or we choose Norwood City School District, or Norwood City Schools, and that's it.
Yeah, I like the word
With-
choose. I like
Yeah.
that message of the
choose.
first
And I
one.
know the parents really like that too. They're
Okay.
really on to, I choose Norwood City School District.
But I like our N.
Yeah, so instead of proud, I choose, and then you could just say Norwood City Schools, and then get
Yeah.
rid of district family, and that
Yeah.
would be less
And
stuff.
keep the logo on it.
Keep the
Yeah.
logo,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Take
like
out,
that
I
too.
choose Norwood
City
'Cause
schools.
City Schools.
I don't have a family, but I also choose the schools. And
Yeah.
Right, because
Take-
we
I wanna
want people
support
to
it.
have it who aren't families too.
Yeah.
And
It's
take
also
out
a
the
lot of
district, but try to get the logo on.
I would
Yeah.
try to get, I would just say, like she said, put it where it says proud. Put I choose Norwood City Schools with
Yeah.
the logo on it.
Oh,
And it'll
okay.
be less words if you take off district
Yeah,
family.
get rid of
Yeah.
district
Kinda-
family.
Yeah.
So put
And
I
just change
choose up
Norwood
here.
City, lower schools, add the S.
Yeah.
And
And that-
center it.
Yeah.
And you got it.
Norwood City
And then we're
Schools,
inclusive
okay.
to grandparents, supporters,
Yeah.
everybody.
All
Something
right,
like that.
that's what we will go with and get them
People
printed.
whose
We
kids
actually
are
had-
older.
At the bounce back event, there was one little girl there whose sister goes to our school and she doesn't. And she came with her sister to get all the stuff, and she's like, I wish I went to Norwood schools. And it was like, that's what we want to see. Like, we want
Yeah.
these kids to be excited to be here, and
Great.
their siblings now are like, I'm jealous. You get all this cool stuff at this school, and I don't get this cool stuff at my school.
And fun stuff, and we're
And fun
fun, and we have fun.
But it was just really
Right.
cool to hear somebody like, I want to be at Norwood.
That's
City Schools."
wonderful.
And that was cool to hear.
All right, well, we'll get these printed and ready to go for the families on the first day.
And the board members.
And the board
And
members, of
whoever else
course.
wants them.
Yeah.
Do you need any, do you need to charge a donation, or should we give donations for them, or?
Oh, well, I hadn't thought about that.
We always.
We always accept donations.
Well,
Yes, we
right.
would accept donations,
would
but I
there
don't
be
feel like I
like-
should charge for the signs because,
Right.
I didn't know if you
It's
needed
marketing.
to, or it was already. But if
Yeah.
you do, I will.
Even-
Or if
well,
there's a
we'll never
suggested
turn
donation.
donations away.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll be ready to go.
Go to Avenues.
Yeah. All right, 9.03, this is the Great Oaks Board. So I turn it
So-
over to Ms. Feller.
Thank you, Madam President. Our meeting is next week, so I don't have information for this week. And our preliminary committee meeting is tomorrow. So I still don't have information to share today for the Oaks. But I know that this month is our annual picnic, and we do a lot with our retirees and for the month of August as we get back into school. But our big picnic is kind of our welcome back for the board members. Everything's, we have a couple that have their own local grown food and they bring it too. And we have like a big grill out and they bring corn and homemade ice cream. So that's like my favorite thing for the August meeting, and I won't be at the August meeting, so I am so sad. But I will have a better report for you next month once I get all the information.
All right. 9.04, this is Norwood Community Television, which is my committee. we don't have a report for this month, although I know they've been busy. They did the parade, which I'm sure everybody appreciates, and getting back to school. So I'm sure our sports are keeping them busy, and yeah, we appreciate NCT. All right, 9.05 OSBA Legislative Liaison. So I will turn it back over to Ms. Ballard.
Thank you again, Madam President. We had our Southwest Region meeting yesterday, and we did get a legislative update from Jennifer Hogue from the state of Ohio. She said that they are currently sitting on several items that are going to be held over until the fall because they are currently on break. So we have a couple House bills and Senate bills that are going to be coming forward once we get back into session. And I know that the next biggest thing coming in terms of tax valuation that I saw that we did have information on, that went through right before they closed out session. They said that there is a new thing that's coming forward for levy tax money that can't be used in certain capacities, that we need to keep an eye on that. It's just something that's coming down with the way we use levy dollars and how they are taxed. So it's something for Julie to keep an eye on, and we'll get more information as they come back into session. And the rest are just things, the same thing that I gave you from last month's report. It's the same information, and we're just holding until they come back into session.
Thank you. 9.06 Avenues for Success. Mrs. Rarica. I'm
Well,
sure
they
we've
had a
rained
big-
on your parade.
They had a big bounce back, woo, and a splashback, yay! And we are so appreciative that that gets done. It's a huge endeavor. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for making that happen, Avenues and Laura. And then next will be start looking for the after-school programs and the after-school clubs.
All right.
I forgot a thing.
What?
Coming to Capitol Conference, you know how last year mine was the only thing that went forward for vote for Capitol Conference? This year, the thing that's coming forward is a resolution to change so that we can, you know how we get all those, the requests, public records requests and things like that? Currently, we can't bill for those. So if people are working to collect that information, we can't pay them extra time for all the time collected. There's a resolution that's coming forward at Capitol Conference that will allow us to actually bill for those super long records requests that we get that take days and weeks to collect. We can now bill for that if this resolution passes, but it seems that it will. But that's been the big one coming forward that hopefully, because I know we've been
That
getting
would be
records
nice.
requests.
Yeah.
and now we'll
Sometimes they're
actually be able to
very
bill it.
large requests.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
So
that's school resources if it's somebody's time that has to do that.
Yeah, all we can do right now is charge for, copying.
Copies.
right.
Yeah.
So this will allow us to actually charge for time and labor
Great.
to collect those things if it's not a simple thing, and we can bill for it.
Interesting.
So.
Cool. All right, item 10 on the agenda, this is our future meetings. So our committee meeting will be held Tuesday, September the 10th, here at the board office. And our regular meeting will be Thursday, September 19th, and we will be back in the high school mini auditorium since school will be back in session. So do I have a motion to approve the future meetings as listed?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Ms. Ballard,
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, item 11, this is our closing items, which is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
All motion?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The time is 6:24 and we are adjourned. Thank you.